April 11, 3:30 in the afternoon. I wish they didn't burn the hay. However, if we don't burn them, they're hard to decompose. That's the way it is. Darn it. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Brown is W, blue is V, black is U. March 15th, around 1:30. So this is what the solar pump looked like, and I bought the cable. It's 12 gauge. We call it 12 times 3 here. So if you're asking for submersible cable, just say submer cable 12 by 3. They'll know what you're talking about. So the reason why I bought this is more to do with the spec. So it's 3 kilowatt, 4 horsepower, and the output is 41 cubic meter per hour. So that's a lot of water. And it requires 8 550 watt panel. So this is dual. So this will take AC and then solar panel. So I'm just gonna wire that up. So I've been watching the guys connect the submersible cable to the motor itself. What they tend to do is twist and then cover it with electrical wire. I wanted to solder it. However, based on my experience with the tin, the tin makes the copper brittle after a while and lose connection. And they don't last too long. I think after 5 years, the tin just make the copper wire brittle. And so I don't want to take the risk of soldering the wires. I just crimped these copper, call it ferrules. So I got these from Roxas, so I just connected, and then going to heat shrink heat shrink tubing, so like that, and just heat shrink it, each wire. Now the cable themselves, because the motor is 3-phase, so the motor are labeled. So make sure that you remember what the label is like. For example, black is U, red is W, and then this one is V. So blue is V, black is U, and then brown is W. The box, when you connect them, they're actually labeled at the panel. Now I don't have the proper heat shrink. And what is the proper heat shrink? This heat shrink tubing, you can buy them as with silicone. That is, when you heat shrink them, inside the tubing there's silicone, and that would provide the water ingress protection. Someday I will buy them. Right now I don't have them. So I'll be using the electrical tape to go from wrap it here all the way to that end, and that would provide the water protection. You don't want the voltage seepage and creepage to be a challenge here. So before I forget, So white is connected, so before I forget, white is connected to blue, red is connected to brown, and black is connected to black. So it's important to note those. And I'm going to create a schematic later. Here's Mickey wanting to play with me. So now I have this electrical tape from end to end. I found that even with this kind of wrapping, water enrich begins to enter inside the black tape. So I've decided to add an additional covering to this connection. So I have these tubes um, that I've had in the past, and sadly, after many years in the sun, they begin to become stiff, rigid, and so whenever they're put under stress, they begin to have a crack, and it's just difficult to work with. So I've decided to use them as a water ingress protection to this cable. So I'm using a general use neutral silicone sealant. There isn't really any silicone that I can find here that would be what I need for this purpose. So I'm just gonna inject silicone inside um, so that it would prevent water ingress into this in this tube, and so impacting the connection inside this. So this is the control box for the solar pump. It's made by LS Tech. Lead, leader. What the heck? Whatever. Leader Tech Inc. Okay. It's LED Solar Tech Inc. So you can find these in the internet. This is the inside. So this is three-phase or BDLC type controller. So it has smarts. So I'm gonna connect the wiring cable and then go from there. The cable insulator is way too thick. It won't go in. So I have no choice but to insert just the three cables. Oh well, it's just the way it is. So this is the connection. Black is connected to U and red is connected to W. Red is connected to brown conductor from the submer, and white is connected to V. White is connected to the blue wire from the submersible. So that's how I did it. Now I'm just gonna connect the AC power. Okay, it's connected. Red is connected to neutral. Black is connected to live. White is not connected to earth. So neutral, live, earth or ground, earth ground. So I'm just gonna close it. Hopefully tomorrow we can install it. It is April 19 and it's around 2 o'clock. So we're going to install the solar pump. So the outlet is 3-inch. With the reducer we went to 2. The reason why is the mass of the water is way too heavy, so we're going to change it from 3 to 2. Make it easier for the submerger to bring out the water. So the guys waited for me because I asked for it. I asked for them to wait. So now we're going to install the solar pump. So the tube pipe is 6 meters. So two 6 meters, and it's because it's heavy, and they don't have that tool to help them with. So it's a bunch of guys. So if you want to do this, make sure you have lots of people, because they could actually lose the submersible by letting go. So this is the control box. The cable is 25 meters. Yes, now. So this is the second 6 meters. That's 12. So they're slowly bringing it down. So it's done, so we're gonna test it. With a bomb. So it's kabampay. Gatong basit. Basit lang. Okay. So it's on. $220, 4,000 RPM. So at 4,000 RPM, that's what it looks like. Ingatan pa ipasit. Ingatan pa. Meron na rigatan niya? Ingatan basta. Masapa ka 220. Okay. There's something wrong. Ibabang basit, ibabang. Nangatulaw na eh. Ibabang pa eh. Okay. So let's turn it on again. Oh. Okay. Dirty error. 240. 4,000 RPM. Okay. Piksa. Piksang basket. Ha? Marigatan? 160. Abo may pangato? Na maximum ato yan? Nadia. Okay.
Puligusin mo na siya. Kung ba RPM mo na?
RPM.
Solar na nagpista.
Nga 20 RPM na. So I'm bringing down the RPM.
Ay, gano'n pala
set. Enter. Ten amps. Ha, marigatan niya. Marigatan. Okay, look like the engine have a hard time giving the power. I brought the Franklin Gould from the area today. We swap out the solar pump uh, in its place, in its stead. So I brought it home. I need to fix the wiring. It's a Gold submersible pump 65G something 20. So I don't know what it is. Now this is a 3 horsepower. The 2 horsepower is over there. That needs to be fixed. So once that is fixed, I'll use it elsewhere. One other thing I don't like about tape is, as you can see, water is seeping into the cracks of the tape. So it's already wet. And that's the reason why I need to make sure that there is no um, electrical path between the different cable. That's why I don't like this method. There's no way to water seal them here in the Philippines. When taking wiring apart, one has to document the how the cables are connected. So red to red, black to black, and yellow to white. And that's really important. Miswiring them here at this point, it's really a bit of a pain because then you have to bring up the submer or somehow figure it out on this end. So it's better to know now than later. I pretty much heat shrunk the connection. Hopefully there won't be any water ingress inside to influence the electrical field. There's an electrical voltage breakdown, and really important to keep the water out. So I'm just going to use the sleeve to protect the conductor. It's not going to be 100% effective. However, what's being done now is just electrical tape, and I noticed that water is getting inside the connection. So that's all that we can do here. There's really not much. There's no waterproof connection. Waterproof. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I'm looking for a connection that would prevent water ingress, so that it's easier to connect these. I've seen them on YouTube. Haven't seen them here yet, or no, or in Lazada. So it's the way it is. So I'm just gonna goop this all over the place where the connections are happening. That's to prevent water ingress. April 21st, 7 o'clock in the morning. The solar pump that we installed here was drawing far too much current, and it's drooping the voltage. So we replaced the 4 horsepower with 3 horsepower. And right now, the 3 horsepower Franklin motor is drawing 10 amps or 11 amps, and it dropped the line to 190 volts. So there's about 20 drops. The line source, voltage source at the line, voltage at the line source is around 210. So there is a voltage drop due to the line is thin. So soon when I can budget it, I need to double that so that it reduces the voltage drop from the line being 200, 300 meters away. So this will take a while. The submersible will be running 24/7 probably, just like the last time. And that's where we are. So now we gotta figure out what to do with the 4 horsepower solar pump. So blue goes to black, and then black goes to the capacitor. Yung mo rin yung kastado. April 22, around 9:30. The challenges I'm having is because of the line voltage droop, almost like a brownout. At the source it's 210, and here we're measuring 170 or 180, so we're having a 20 volt drop, and it's not giving the the necessary power to pump water out. I did some adjustment, or what we call here in the Philippines remedy, and it's temporary in that sense. And this starter fuse keep tripping. So this is actually heat sensitive, as it is in series with the motor, and it's reset. However, because I took this from a 2 horsepower fuse, so it's not rated for a 3 horsepower. So I'm just swapping the fuse again. So yesterday I took this part from here from a 3 horsepower, and I took this from a 2 horsepower. The reason why I did a swap, is I needed to learn how this thing works. So this is a starter fuse, and its characteristic is dependent on temperature. That is to say that there is a resistance in series with the motor winding. So if the motor goes into a failure of drawing far too much current, then it would heat up the fuse. It's almost like a bimetallic. It's probably bimetallic. It didn't say that on the data sheet. And because Franklin designed the motor with a failure mode in mind, that is to say, one shouldn't want to bring out the submersible pump just because it did something silly. So this control box self-protect the submersible pump, because it's difficult to bring out a submersible once it is 16 meter below ground. So how does one compensate for these? And that is to have a safety feature, and these are the safety feature. So, and that's what I've learned from reading something on the internet. Now, because really needed the submersible to work, and I had this 2 horsepower, I swapped them while I learn how this works. So now I'm just going back to putting this part back, take out this part, and hope for the best. So the 2 horsepower part is removed and it's replaced with a 3 horsepower part. So I'm going to power up the submersible again and hope for the best. Sadly, when I plugged the two, the voltage was 120 volts and it's 33 amps. So I'm going to do some calculation. What does that mean? 120 volts AC times 33 amps. So I did some calculation. 120 times 33 amps is around 4,000 watts, and it would be slightly over 5 horsepower. So something wrong with the submer now. It just doesn't like the voltage drooping. That really sucks. The motor doesn't even kick when I plug the power. So this really sucks. It's a bit of a challenge. April 30, 10 o'clock. I'm having challenge with this submer. The line voltage, the drop wire is 250 meters away from the line pole. So when the submer is active on, in other words, the voltage drop across the line is way too much. So which is suck. And we're getting to that point where we gotta do something. Like the rays are way see the land is cracking. This really suck. It's a bit of a challenge. Unforeseen challenges. Well, we're installing the solar pump here. I paid the electric bill here, so we can use the solar pump to flood the Mormon. It takes about 4 people to do this. Hey. Nagkirot. Ang sumurag. Data for
Alalain nyo ay lupa.
okay. It's a bit tight. So it's finally sorted out. So it's April 30 around 4 o'clock. We'll see how long this thing will be flooded. So we have the pipe running across the road. And the submer is running, is leaking a little bit. We'll see how fast this thing will go. May 3rd, 10 o'clock, around there. It's before 10. It's been hot, and the ability to irrigate is challenging. Even though they're irrigated, like for example this, it dried out real quick. The evaporation rate is pretty high. Even though it's humid, it just evaporates the water. The ability to irrigate, there's the water management is really suck right now. I'm challenged with this El Nino. It's challenging. I don't know what I prefer. I prefer La Nina or El Nino. La Nina lots of rain. El Nino not so much. So really challenging water management. So we're getting down to the first week, or we're up to first week of May, and basically harvest time would be before middle August. It would have been nice if we were actually on schedule. I really wanted to harvest before before August. It would be like last week July. Just challenging right now. Real suck. So these seedlings are RC640, and it's supposed to be, according to the agent, it's high yield. So crazy. It's May 14, 10 past 9 in the morning. So last night it rained, starting 10 o'clock. It rained for a couple hours. It rained cats and dogs. It rained so much that now the rice field is or are overflowing with water. So it's really good. This part of the land, the runoffs, it's they call it a repeat or canal is clogged, and so the water is flowing into this rice field, and of course it's drowning the rice. So that's what it is. There's some of these. It's when you have extra tellers to plant and there's no place to put them, or not prepared, not rice fields are not ready to be planted, and there's this waste, and that's how it works. If you can't plant them, then that's how it is. The El Nino really took a toll on the land. It just dried the land so bad that it took days, several weeks of flooding the rice field before they get to that point where you can do something with them. So from January till middle May for El Nino, there's no rain. So last night was a godsend because there's still a few rice field that needs to be flooded and then planted. So this is Muñoz East. It's pretty much completed. So with the rain last night, it helped with flooding the rice field. So this Inrugida di Kalman?
Patay lang kayo.
Oh,
Sikata di kalman.
protect naman. So manong aldaw ato eh?
Aji
Di-
bulo na kayo.
When?
22.
22 days the tellers. So they pulled off the tellers yesterday and then they planted today. They should be finished. Mas malpas na madamdamaya.
Uy lang kayo.
May isang oras nalpas na nga taan.
Nagyan ka naging ka na alas 12 siguro.
Alas 12 ato eh?
Uy lang.
So look like 3 hours they'll be done or 2.5. So we're here at the Bilya and they're removing the rice to be planted elsewhere. The challenge here without the rain, these cracks or rifts, we need another rain to completely erase the rifts from the land. I don't think we can plant this 5 hectares, maybe 2 or 3, that's it. Yeah, I wish we could manage to plant all 5. However, I'm not going to spend all that energy just to do the 5 hectares when we can only manage 2 or 3. So that's what we're doing. That's the plan in a way. Let's see if that works. Here, the Basao or marshland, the water is really, it's a lot. So over there, the plants are drowning. So we'll see what happens. The rain, it brought good things. I just can't say it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. Now we just need to manage the water. May 18, around 4 o'clock. So it's been raining the past few days. And praise the Lord, I don't have to buy diesel to flood to pump water to flood the rice field. So it's been good. So it look like we'll be transplanting soon, and around this time, May 14. So it would be like the end of August that we will be harvesting. Based from May 14. In fact, it's probably getting into September. I'll have to check the calculation. This rice field was planted end of April 30. So we will be harvesting here end of July, first week August. Although in theory it might be like 2nd August. It all depends. I'm not wanting to harvest sometime in September. It's really not the best time. It would have been better if things were harvested before middle August. However, that's the way it is. Our schedules.